I think we're live now. I'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brian, would you open in prayer?
Sure. Father, we thank you, Lord, for your grace and your goodness. Lord, this morning our hearts are heavy in the loss of a friend. Lord, you know all about that. And as things come out, we pray for the family. We pray for their church family and all the courthouse friends. We just pray, God, peace and grace unto them at this time. We pray for our community, that Lord, that you continue to help and to heal. Lord, that you continue to give us strength, give us knowledge and wisdom to do the will and the business of the people. And Lord, that you would bless our day. We pray. We ask it all in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. And welcome to our April 21st Commissioners meeting. Now you've had time to review the minutes. If we could get started with the approval of the minutes for April 14th.
So I make a motion that we approve the minutes of April 14th as submitted by our clerk.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous reports,
Any comments or questions on the miscellaneous reports? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation of funds,
Any comments or questions on the appropriations? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation transfer of funds,
Any comments on the transfers? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of Access Sauter County Capital Replacement Monthly Invoice Charter Service Incidental Use Certification regarding March 2022.
Any comments or questions on item number 5? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of 2022 Transit Reserve Funds regarding Access Sauter County.
Any comments or questions on ASC's Transit Reserve Funds? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of contract amendment between Sauter County Job and Family Services and Speedway Prepaid LLC.
This is a contract amendment between Sauter County Job and Family Services and Speedway for their gas cards. This is just to amend the contract as of May 1st, 2022, and extending it through a period of April 30th, 2023, as specified in the original contract. All their terms in the contract remain the same. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of 2022 BWLEC 3090 Sauter County Sheriff's Office Body Worn Cameras Reimbursement Grant Award and Acceptance.
This is for the Sheriff's Office. They have been awarded a reimbursement grant for $24,950 from the Ohio Department of Safety and the Office of Criminal Justice Services. This funding is dedicated to the purchase of equipment and software to complement body-worn camera systems. Any comments or questions?
I for one am glad that they're pursuing this. Seems to be getting more and more dangerous out on the streets, and I think this will be a good move for the Sheriff's Department to wear. I have been in contact with the sheriff in regards to policies and procedures surrounding the use of these cameras, and they are working to get those put in place before they place these all into service. So just wanted to mention that.
Very good. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of authorizing the Sauter County Sheriff to apply for the American Rescue Plan Law Enforcement Violence Reduction and Staffing Grant.
The Sheriff's Office is requesting approval to apply for the American Rescue Plan. This is ARPA funds, but not ARPA funds through the county. This is through the Law Enforcement Violence Reduction and Staffing Grant from the Ohio Department of Safety Office of Criminal Justice Services. The purpose of this project is to obtain funding to address the negative impacts of the coronavirus pandemic. The intention is to submit one application to focus on reducing overdose deaths, which have increased significantly during the pandemic. There is no match required for this grant. Any comments or questions? I would just like to say the sheriff and his team does a good job of searching out these grants and going for them. As we saw from the previous line item, they were successful with the system for the body cameras, and we're hopeful he's successful in this endeavor as well. And if there's no additional comments or questions, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of bid award for Barklow Road Extension 2 project, SCI CR 540.53 regarding Sauter County Engineer.
This is a project that we bid out, I believe, 2 weeks ago now. Of course, all of our open bids are viewable on our Facebook page, so if you're interested in that process, you can see those there. This is Sauter County Engineer recommending that Scioto Valley Paving be awarded the bid for the Barklow Road Extension 2 project. They were the lowest bid amount in the amount of $243,478.52. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of grant agreement, Christmas gift program between the Sauter County Commissioners and the Sauter Foundation regarding Sauter County Children's Services.
This is a grant agreement between the Commissioners and Sauter Foundation. This grant, which we gave permission to apply for a couple weeks ago, is awarded in the amount of $10,000 regarding children's services for the Christmas gift program. That will be able to provide each foster child a $50 gift card for Christmas. I want to say thank you to Donna Cunningham, to Pat Sarasso, to Marquita Riepenhoff. Marquita Riepenhoff? Yes,
Mhm.
Marquita. They have been working hard to find any and all grants. Really, no grants too big or too small to help provide for our children in CPS. So thank you to all of them, their hard work on this grant, and thank you to the Sauter Foundation
Yes.
to see this need and to meet this need
Yes.
with their funding. It means a lot that these children will be getting at least a gift card for Christmas. I know a lot of our churches also will mobilize during that time to provide for our kids and foster as well. But thank you, Sauter Foundation, for this gift. Any additional comments or questions?
I appreciate the ones that are involved and getting involved and are working to get grants and have stayed engaged. I think that's very important, and undoubtedly you can tell where their focus is, and it's very good to see that they're working. Especially, I mean, this is awesome as far as supplying these presents, and I'm sure this isn't the only thing that they'll get, but this is a wonderful step, and thank you, Sauter Foundation.
I would just add my thanks as well. It's just heartwarming to be able to give the children anything. $50 gift cards will mean so much to them. And again, thanks to the Sauter Foundation and to the ladies that work so hard getting this grant together.
Very good. With that, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of authorizing the chairman to issue a 30-day written notice of termination to the counseling center regarding 526 Fifth Street.
This authorizes me being the chairman to provide a 30-day written notice of termination to the counseling center regarding 526 Fifth Street. Counseling center has been occupying the premise on a month-to-month basis since their lease agreement terminated on December 15th, 2020. They did have a lease termination back in 2020, and then, of course, COVID, and they needed some additional time to provide social distancing or space for anybody in the recovery world that would need space. If they had COVID, they still need care as well. So this would be a 30-day termination. Essentially, it's time now for us to move forward with the female jail that the sheriff's office has been working very hard on. Was able to secure funding from the state to build that out. $1.5 million to build that 100-bed facility out to provide service not just to our county but to other counties in the surrounding areas. It is harder and harder to find space for women in the jail system, so this will meet that need for the region. Any additional comments or questions?
As far as the exact steps, as far as the timeline, Compass Point Housing had it before. That was in 2020 when they left. They had it for several years. The best thing to do at that point, this dates back all the way back to 2015, and Mr. Crabtree, of course, the late Mr. Crabtree, late Mr. Coleman were in office, and I was there. We and actually prior to that, even it goes way back before that there was discussions on even making it a jail then, because it's actually, that's what it was built for. I mean, there's pods and everything already there. Automatic door closers, this all already exists. And of course, the decision then was to make sure that the building did not sit empty. It had been shut down. It was a former juvenile detention center. It contributed really to the expenses that threw the county into fiscal emergency prior to 2014. I mean, it was well before that actually, but they had closed it down. So if anybody knows, a building sitting empty is one of the worst things that can happen to a building. Lack of HVAC, proper HVAC ventilation, panels start peeling, tiles will start falling out of ceilings. It's one of the worst things you can do to a building is let it just sit. So at that time, it was agreed to let the Compass Point Housing, it might have been TCC at first, but eventually it was Compass Point Housing because they had to, it was just their organizational setup. And then in 2020, Compass Point did pull out of the facility, had started another facility in another part of town. But then immediately after that, COVID hit, and TCC needed emergency separation of population to get the COVID positive people away from the non-COVID positive people. So we agreed to let them enter into a lease to get there, to not allow the big threat was allowing COVID to run roughshod through the recovery population. That was the biggest scare, that was the biggest fear. So we did that, and at one point they had several people in there, but it worked out well. But as Commissioner Powell, you have said, it is time, and they know about this. We have communicated with them very clearly, and they appreciate what was given back to me was they do appreciate the fact that they were given this opportunity in working with us. And but it is COVID is abated, not completely, but it's really we're Greene County as well as all of Ohio is, and it's time to move forward with our women's jail. And the sheriff is ready, so we need to get moving. So I appreciate that. I just wanted to kind of clarify what all happened there. It was very much about health and safety. We had to make sure we took care of that before we could move forward with the other. So
And thank you for that history on that property, because I know it's kind of been multiple things. It's been in the works for a while, so
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of communication from Dave Miller requesting permission for AEP to run electric service from the Commissioner's secondary electric pole located on Fort Hill Road.
Hey Dave, welcome back. We talked about this last week, basically permitting you to be able to use one of our existing poles to then run your electric from. I know Commissioner Davis looked into this item.
We're good.
It sounds like we're good.
We're good.
So
Talk to Sheriff's Department, no obstructions, no conflicts, no problem. With the new project, which is on the north lot, we just had to double check to make sure, but it'll be on the north lot, which is across the street, basically, is where they're going to be putting a larger tower. Okay, so you're good. You're on your side, you're good. Yeah, you wrap all the way around our property there, and yeah, we checked it out. I talked to Doug Buckle, who is our 911, all things radio tower aficionado, and he said we're good. So if he says we're good, then we know we're good. So yeah, so we're happy to work with you on that.
I installed the mailbox yesterday.
Yeah,
install the mailbox. That's a good step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the mail.
Well, is there any additional comments or questions on this request from Mr. Miller? Hearing none.
motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye. Congratulations, Mr. Miller. You can get some electric to your property. Item 14.
In the matter of accepting meeting minutes.
Any comments or questions on the meeting minutes? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of services agreement between Sauter County Board of Commissioners and Collier Medical Services regarding drug and alcohol testing of Sauter County employees.
This is a step to ensure that we are in compliance with our drug-free workplace policies and procedures specific to workers' compensation and that discount, drug-free workplace discount. We reviewed the pricing for, I believe it was 3, we've done this a while ago, it was 3 different service providers. Collier had the better of the pricing. This is now the contract, since it's been reviewed by the prosecutor's office, to be able to move forward on that contract. Any comments or questions? I would like to say thank you, Ryan Cheeser. He's over our risk services. He's been the one working hard on this to get us in compliance with our drug-free workplace. With that, can I get a motion?
I will add to that he sent me a picture of palm trees and everything else this morning.
Well, I
He
take
said that he would not be
thanks.
making our meeting, and but in spite of that, I will give him kudos as well. He's on vacation this week, okay? But he sent me
Strike my
pictures.
thanks.
Sunshine and palm trees. But I will make a motion to approve this.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution accepting grant and dedication of right-of-way for public road purposes to be known as Allegheny Hill Road, Harrison Township, Sauter County, Ohio.
Is there any comments or questions on item 16? Hearing none?
Motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of access, Sauter County 2022 first quarter report.
So ASC is going to now be doing quarterly reports. This is the first time they've done this, correct me if I'm wrong. So this will likely start showing up in our miscellaneous reports, but we just kind of, for this first one, make sure that it kind of stood out on its own. Any comments or questions on the report that they submitted? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of requests for fund transfers.
Any comments or questions on the fund transfers? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of amendment to the resolution regarding the expenditure of American Rescue Plan fiscal recovery funds regarding children's services.
This is just an amended resolution to clean up the first. There was a typo on the date from February 28 of 2020, and it should have read February 28 of 2022. So this is just cleaning up that resolution. Any comments or questions? Hearing none?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for various funds, moral obligations, and then and now certificates in the total amount of $362,677.19.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of accepting amended certificate from the Budget Commission.
Any comments or questions on 21? Hearing none?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of consent to the addition of Anthony Magestro of Powell and Magestro PLLC, Sauter County Board of Commissioners fee agreement.
This is regarding the national prescription opioid litigation. This is to add the law firm of Anthony Magestro of Powell Magestro, no relation, PLLC, who has been and is working on this case. This does not change the attorney fee in the case, as Mr. Majestro's fee will come out of the already established attorney fee. It's clear to point out that while we are the only county in Ohio that chose to continue with litigation, that has cost the county nothing in terms of fee for attorneys. Their fees are, and what this is referring to, if it's a settlement, it's spelled out exactly what they did and what percentage. And if we win, there's a percentage. Right now, it is costing us nothing to continue this litigation. They have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours on this. These are national law firms that are spending their time and energy on these matters, and still today it costs us nothing to continue our fight against the big three. I did want to point that out there because there's some misinformation out there that the county is spending money to continue this lawsuit. That's not the case. So I did want to make that clear. Mr. Magestro has been working on this. He is one of the many law firms that has been working on this, but he just needs added to the law firm the law firm list. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Hi. That is our agenda. Any questions on the agenda? Yes, sir.
Yeah, 2 questions on the agenda, that relate to items on the agenda. One involves the law enforcement grants that Sheriff Thurman's been applying for. It seems there's been an uptick.
We're going to have you hold the mic.
There's been an uptick in the number of grants applied for and things. Is that because they're more aggressive? Is it because there's a greater need for the equipment that's being applied for?
I can answer part of that because I don't have any experience with the previous sheriff. So I do know that Sheriff Thurman inherited a situation where things needed updated that maybe hadn't been for whatever reason. So they're using these grant opportunities and not general fund to basically get his department where it needs to be and to be efficient and effective using the most up-to-date technology for men and women on the front lines. Commissioner Davis, Commissioner Coleman, if you want to, is he more aggressive or not? I don't know.
I can answer that. Yes, he is. This is, from the moment he came into his position, he's worked tirelessly to find money, grants and any kind of monies to help with the expense, and we appreciate that very much.
I
Ditto.
agree with everything she just said.
And I will say it is very encouraging And, when you have an office holder that not only does he ask for equipment, supplies, and personnel, but there's always a plan and a funding mechanism, or he's always taken the extra step to try to figure it out and make it work within his budget or find the funding to do so. So we appreciate David Thurman, Sheriff Thurman, in those endeavors, and his team. They do a good job.
I think one of the best things he did was when he came into office, he brought a grant writer with him. And that was one of the things we discussed at our first meeting, was that she was going to be very aggressive in finding grants. And I'm not saying that the past sheriff didn't do grants, but the number and the frequency has increased dramatically. So it is very welcome and very exciting to see the outfitting of our sheriff's department to the level that it is. We have approved a lot of grants and a lot of matching funds, and beyond that, expenditures from ARP as well as general fund to get our sheriff's department beefed up. I don't know how else to put it, but there's a lot of dangerous people out there. And there's a lot of circumstances where they have to be able to respond with force, unfortunately. And they are getting equipped to do that. And whether we like to accept it or not, we do have dangerous people in our community. We have organized crime. We have people that are very unsavory, that are armed better than our law enforcement. And we have to make sure that they're able to respond adequately. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the second question I had, as it pertains to the agenda, can the commissioners give us any kind of detail on any kind of update regarding the opioid lawsuits?
So we can't talk about it a whole lot because it's pending litigation. Other than we are moving forward. We've been closely watching what's going on in West Virginia and Huntington to see because they did have their trial.
That's why I asked. Yeah.
So we've been watching that. To date, there hasn't been any announcement of what the judge is doing in that case. We've been updating our client fact sheets and providing information to our attorneys. All of the office holders have been really good. Hey, Bill, so everybody has been contributing to this effort because it has impacted every office in county government. So the office holders have really pulled together and got our prosecutor's office what they need to be able to start compiling all this information as we move forward. So it's probably the most we can say at this point because it is pending litigation, but it's still moving forward.
It's interesting to see some of the things that are happening across the country. Litigants continue to win in court. Just recently, last week, it was announced that Johnson & Johnson settled with the state of West Virginia, not to be confused with the Cabell County Huntington lawsuit, which was the big three, which is that trial has concluded. They are, as Scotty said, they are waiting for basically what they're going to get from that trial. It could range from 0 to billions. Okay, so we'll see what happens. It should be noted that law firm is our law firm. Okay, and as Scotty has already said, we are on a contingency basis. We are not spending money, with national law firms. That should tell you a little bit about their faith in our case. I think I should tell everybody something about that because they are, I'm sure, spending millions toward this case themselves. So the discovery, the work that goes into it. But J&J settled for $99 million with the state of West Virginia. The state of Ohio has already settled with the state of, with Johnson & Johnson. It kind of went under the radar. We discussed it in our meeting openly. The Scioto County settled with Johnson & Johnson too. A lot of people, I don't think, saw that, although it was on the front page of the paper, and I think it was announced on the radio and everything else. A lot of people missed that. We settled with Johnson & Johnson as well. And in relation to all of this, with the One Ohio plan in the state of Ohio, there are monies that are going to be flowing into Ohio as part of the One Ohio plan, and then that money flows into the regions. Well, Sauter County sits in Region 9, okay? And we have worked, we finally got everybody at the table, and we now have a Region 9 board that is going to be seated. We have representatives from each county that'll be seated on that board. And in our county, that is Commissioner Powell will be serving on that as commissioner representative. John Hass will be the representative for the city of Portsmouth. And I'm forgetting Porter Township fiscal officer will be, yes, Ted Adams will be the other representative, which I think that's a really good, having a financial background, also an administrative background in schools. That was a really nice add. And then having an attorney from Sauter County will be a nice add as well, along with our commissioners. So that board is being put together, and once that board's put together, they vote a rep to the state board, and then the monies can start coming down. No monies have been awarded yet to anybody in the state of Ohio so far. They're just not getting this set up, and we know it's going to take a while. But Sauter County will be receiving monies from that settlement, and that'll be starting this year. So our big beef was with the 3 distributors. So we're continuing on, and I feel very confident that I think we're going to win that. I really do. So we'll see. We'll see.
And I'll add that Commissioner Davis made reference to the One Ohio plan, the regional boards. There was nobody heading up what this thing looks like. We knew there had to be a regional board. We knew there had to be a state board. But outside of that, it wasn't spelled out how you get there. I know he's being modest. Commissioner Davis is the one, and he's actually not even serving on the board. He's the one that organized Region 9 to start. Came up with the methodology or suggested methodology of how each county picks their 3 representatives, and has really moved the ball along. I think we're further than some other regions, but we have our players in place now, and it's a matter of just getting the first dates. But until those boards are in place, until the statewide boards are in place, so you have to have a regional board, and then they have to give a representative to the statewide board. Until all these boards are in place, none of that money that's been agreed to in the One Ohio plan is moving, because there's different layers, and the regional boards can make recommendations for expenditure, but it still ultimately gets blessed by the statewide board. So there's a lot of nuance, even after our decision to opt out of that settlement. There's a lot of nuance with how this money is going to flow that we didn't even know at the point of that decision. And there's other counties that are having buyer's remorse and wondering, like, man, this isn't as easy as we thought it was going to be. So it's interesting. It's the largest lawsuit other than the tobacco industry in the country. So it's very complex. There's a lot of money flowing in exchanging hands, and we're getting the system in place to be able to get that money where it needs to go.
And some may ask, how does that work once it gets to the regional board? Because there's a lot of confusion in it. There's monies that go directly to the counties, and that's a certain percentage. And then there's monies that go to municipalities, villages, all that, townships. But then there's monies that go to these boards, and the state gets their piece, and the attorneys get their piece, but the regional boards, what they do is, because there's a representatives from each county. In our case, there's 27. Okay, that was like herding cats, trying to get everybody on this board. Everybody was great, but everybody's busy too, and it took us a few months to get all of this done. Because you have to go to your board, you have to have meetings, you have to go and approach people. It just takes time to get everybody together. But what they'll do is this board of 27 people will have projects or programs submitted to them by different entities throughout our region. And everybody has equal representation. So it's not like any one county can have an overbearing, control over this board. A matter of fact, it's just the opposite. We are very rural. All of our counties, we're blessed. All of our counties are rural. So there's no large city that's going to have control over this board either, which is very positive. So I think the largest cities are Portsmouth and Chillicothe. That's it. Okay, so they'll come together, and then these projects by these, I envision nonprofits. A lot of nonprofits will be able to come, or it could be profits that come and say, look, we want to do an educational prevention program in schools. We want to, reach out and get involved in our, and I know this sounds crazy, but we got to get to our kids early. We have to get really creative in how we can reach our kids in preschool and daycare, and how can we start teaching them about the evils of opioids and things like that. How can we do that? Or after school programs, maybe it's something like that. Keep teens out of trouble, give them something else to do. People can come to this board and say, hey, look, I need, I'm just throwing out numbers, $50,000 for this, or I need $100,000 for this, or I need $12 for this, I don't know. But then the board will vote and decide who they want to distribute monies to. So that's how this board is going to work. As settlements or lawsuits are won, more money comes into the One Ohio. Okay, so now our lawsuit is separate. Our lawsuit is not part of One Ohio. We opted out of the One Ohio settlement, and we are going forward
For the
with
big
our
three.
with the big three only.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of other lawsuits out there, folks. A lot of them. I mean, it's insane. All the different distributors, all the different manufacturers, all the different marketing companies, and others. And some of the names you've heard: Purdue Pharma, up in the air. Nobody knows with the Sackler family how that's all going to fall, and nobody really, we'll see. But all of those things are still up in the air. So it is a huge, as you mentioned, it is a huge litigation. It is giant on so many levels. But we've been battling this since 2017, and we are to the point to where we're starting to see a return. We're starting to see things happen, and we're going to keep on pressing because our people deserve their day in court. Our citizens deserve their day in court. So.
That's all I had on the agenda.
Anything else on the agenda?
Yeah, on the agenda for Scott County Daily News, item
Can we
11.
give Betty a microphone?
Yeah.
And that was Bill Show.
That was Bill Show.
Yeah.
The
The
Bill
show.
Show.
The man, the legend.
On the agenda, item number 11, what is the current functioning role of the Board of Children's Services? Have any more members left? Will there be openings on the board under the new structure?
No other members have left at this point. Right now, we have board members that are being active and getting grants. I don't believe they've had another board meeting. My focus is, I know we will have an advisory board. My focus is the transition first and foremost, the staff, the kids impacted with the transition. We'll definitely, be engaging the board and the advisory board on different projects. That hasn't taken place yet. Not that it's not going to. It just hasn't. The focus, for me anyway, and maybe the other commissioners have a different opinion, but for me, it's first and foremost, we got to make sure we have a clean transition, as clean as it can be, with Job and Family Services and CPS combining. No?
I think.
Okay. Anything else on the agenda?
Yeah, on the agenda, item 12, what is the current timeline for getting the women's jail up and running?
That's a great question for the sheriff. Honestly, so this is a 30-day notice. I know they're wanting to get in there right away to start doing some preliminary stuff, whether it be with removing doors or doing some small demo or whatever. But in terms of the timeline, Sheriff Thurman would have a better grasp.
I'll ask him again on Saturday night.
Yeah, he's going to need to. Once they're out, then we can start assessing, and then we have bidding to do for work and all kinds of stuff. He mentioned painting, some sprucing up, cleaning up. And then there are some things that are gonna have to be bid out, I would assume, so that's a process too. But they gotta get in there and actually determine what's gonna be done,
Right.
especially with the dormitory housing. That's gotta be figured out. But one thing that's really good about this is not a new purpose for this building. This building was purchased or built as a correctional facility, so we are not doing a new purpose with this building. It is going to be utilized for exactly what it was intended to be used for. So, for those that have never been in there before, it's actually a very, very, very nice facility. So, anyways, just
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Anything else on the agenda?
I had off.
You have anything on, Angie? Nothing?
No.
Off the agenda?
Oh.
Well, you already hold the microphone, so you
Okay,
don't
off the agenda, the previous cost of townships for paving has been a hot mix, 30,000 per mile, and chip and seal, 10,000 per mile. Under the collective purpose agreement, have those costs changed for this paving session?
That's a great question for the engineer, if you want the exact numbers. I know when we were opening the bids, it was roughly 20? Was it
20%
20% higher?
Oh.
Yeah, and the paving is 80,000 a mile. Yeah, it's 80,000 a mile. That's prior to this 20%. So, yeah, I remember when it was 50,000 a mile. I think when I first came in, it was 50,000. It is. Yeah, it's petroleum prices, everything, inflation, you name it. It's when we heard the numbers come out during that bid, I was like, oh no. So you know what that means? That's less miles that you can pave. So yeah,
If
definitely.
you want the
a concern.
exact dollar amount, Engineer LeBrun should be able to get that for you.
And just last thing, just any updates on Trimmer Mound?
So that they are working, and this is just offhand knowledge I know they're working on their entry. I don't know if you've been by Trimper Mound. They are building out their road to be able to handle buses, because they suspect they'll have school buses or visitors. So they're making their driveway larger to be able to handle that. I know you're only going to be able to access that driveway coming west. So there was an ODOT requirement there where you couldn't enter in from the east, just because you have that curve there, so they didn't want that to be an issue. So they did have to engineer it where you could only enter in from the west. So they'll have that concrete,
I'm gonna assume that's gonna get
curve there.
safer right there.
Yeah, so they're working toward it. I know they've been doing a lot of electromagnets. Is that right? Even the right terminology? Magnet scanning of different features within the mound. They were trying to get in the bottom area too, because they think there might be some features down there in the fields by the river. It's going to be an exciting project, but they're pushing to be open, and you want the microphone. So it's going to be the possibility of what that does for tourism in this community is very large, especially if they end up going after a World UNESCO Heritage Site or anything like that type of designation.
That would be.
All of a sudden, you'll see tens of thousands of people visiting just that site.
Yeah, I don't think their parking lot's gonna
No, they need a bigger park.
handle that.
So yeah, but they're working hard. If you've been by there, you can see some of the dirt work and the road
I just
work.
worried about the intersection.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's exciting, the fencing. I don't know if you've been over there recently, but they took all the fencing out.
Yep.
Along the perimeter, so you can actually see the mound and see what's going on, and the whole site, they've taken up and grubbed up everything, and they're working, that's for sure. And hopefully everything will proceed. I know it's proceeding. They're definitely, that's one of their but their main projects they're doing right now. So.
all right, Mr. Shu.
Yeah, the last one is, as the communication improved between the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and the county commissioners as it pertains especially to the former golf course on the west side.
I mean, I've kind of known what their plans have been. I've always thought their communication was good. You guys were dealing with this
Yes.
during the transition.
Yeah, when the transition happened, it was not very good because they were trying to figure out exactly what they were doing. It was a lot of permitting going on. We had bad weather. pick up the pieces from the bad news. I mean, it was not well received from a lot of people, of course, but they've moved along. I mean, we're getting pretty regular updates. They're down there working now. They're going to have even more camping spots open this year. The Water Sports Lagoon. They're working hard to get that really up and running, because I mean they want to get it done too, you know, as soon as possible. So yeah, I mean the latest news I got was that they're proceeding with haste, and hopefully, well, we know you can see a lot of the camping spots now from the road. I mean it's things are happening.
Yeah, I interviewed Commissioner Powell, I think in March or so, and he gave a pretty good update on everything. So I just, we were busy that day, and I just wanted to know if the communication had improved, because there for a while, no one really knew anything of concrete details except for Post-it notes on boards.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's true, yeah. I mean, it's,
Yeah, but I've spoken with their assistant director multiple times, and they are very committed,
And I
very
can tell you,
committed to that site.
Not just that side, I've been working hand in hand with them on the kayak access in Lucasville. They've been very engaged with that. Hopefully they'll be sharing more about the access point at the Tapman Cove Road. There's a nature preserve out there in McDermott. If you've never been there, there's a nice little trail that runs right by the creek. It's really nice. But we were talking about them, hey, as we're building out our water sports, you already have a parking lot there. It would be a nice place. So they've been building that ramp in. I think that's been kind of going under the radar, but that has been happening. So hopefully they'll be doing, I don't know if they'll do an event for it or if they'll just do some sort of announcement, but people will be able to access the water there and kayak down through Brush Creek. So they're spending a lot of time and energy here in Sauter County. They see the value. And talking to them, they want to see, you know, Hocking Hills gets a lot of attractions, and quite honestly, it's probably too much. You know, they're packed all the time, so they're trying to find ways to spread out basically visitors throughout the different state parks, and us having the largest state park. You know, they're investing a lot of money in us, so we appreciate them. We appreciate them.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Any additional questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Could you,
Let's get you a microphone, so, and share your name.
Share your name.
good morning, Thomas, my name's Thomas Bailey. And the subject is could you check the parking lot on the 140 parking lot? And,
140 parking lot.
and there's a lot of potholes at that parking lot.
You got city.
We'll have to see who owns that and who would be responsible for that, if that's the
If
city.
it's a parking right, it's ODOT.
If it's park and ride, it's ODOT.
Okay.
Okay, or city. I don't know exactly which one it is.
The one right there by the bypass intersection between 52 and the bypass, that one right there that we're
Yes.
talking about. Yeah, it's.
I agree.
It's pretty.
It's
rough.
bad. It is bad.
But that would be ODOT then, wouldn't it? We can check into that then.
Okay.
Any additional questions? We have our treasurer with us. Are you providing an update for us today?
Well, I noticed I wasn't on your schedule, so I may have written down the wrong Thursday.
If you want to come and give your update, if you're ready.
Yeah.
If it's okay with
Yeah,
you.
look.
We can just do it.
We're always glad when you're here.
You're already here.
I saw the schedule this morning, and I said, oh, I'm not on it.
Maybe that wasn't intentional if you were.
That was my mistake, I'm sure.
No.
Because you were supposed to be on
If you
it.
want to turn the camera onto our
One
treasurer,
for the clerk.
Thank you.
Angie.
This is our quarterly investment report.
Thank you, sir.
It's ODOT.
You got good money?
Just look.
We got good money. All right, well.
Income for the first quarter was $22,023.82. That's not as good as it was for the first quarter of last year, but this year, month by month, it's a little bit of an improvement each month. I have on here our yield at worst is 0.956%. Yield to worst is figured as if all of our CDs, most of them are callable, if they were called. I mean, we would get our principal back, but we wouldn't gain any future monthly coupons off of it. The last two bunches of CDs that we did purchase, they were 5 years in length, but we got 1.9 and 2%. So we're finally getting to see those numbers come back. So we've got each statement in there. The Fed chairman has talked about interest rates going up maybe 25 basis points every quarter, which is good for us in our investing. Not so great if you're buying a car or credit cards or anything, but for us, those interest rates coming up, it's what we're based on. So I suggest we continue with our current strategy of FDIC insured, everything is FDIC insured, or with Star Ohio with the state treasurer's office. So that was basically the report. If anybody has any questions.
So no Bitcoin then, is what you're saying?
No what?
No Bitcoin?
No Bitcoin.
Good.
That may be the day I contact Opers and ask for what I could get on my way out.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your hard work on this.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
up. But we appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Make a motion, we accept the report.
Okay, we got a motion
Investment
to
report.
accept the investment report. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye. If there's no other questions, Mr. Davis, any additional thoughts?
This weekend is the True Lure Trout Derby at Roosevelt Lake, as well as the JC's Trout Derby at Turkey Creek Lake. So there will be millions of trout enthusiasts in the Shawnee State Forest area. All right, and but no, it's great. The True Lure tournament is for disabled veterans and children, and they have that at Roosevelt Lake, and it's a really great event. If you have anyone that's disabled, you fish for free. Anyone that's disabled does not have to have a fishing license. All right, that goes for veterans. Children, of course, don't have to anyways, but the veterans do not. And there will be top prizes awarded for top fish for a veteran and for a child. So they do everything that's needed to help people. Isaiah DeLotel has caught fish with his feet before. All right, literally, I've seen. I mean, it's incredible stuff. So no disability is beyond their ability to help catch fish. All right, so if you have someone, a loved one, that you would like to get out there, they are starting at 6 a.m., a little early, but they're going till 5. So if they want to fish, come on out. There will be a great day. There will be a lunch served as well. So bring some water. It's going to be warm, 80 degrees on Saturday. Bring some water. Bring some shade with you maybe. Bring some chairs. Bring your chairs. And if you have a fishing pole, fine, but they do have, I think, upwards of 300 poles to hand out for people that need them. So they have bait. They're ready. Todd Dunn is ready. Man, he is ready for this. So anyone that wants to come out, should be a great event, as well as the Trout Derby out at Turkey Creek Lake, which is, I would say, having had a 2-year hiatus, I think 2 years now, this thing's going to be big because ODNR is pushing it. I know we have, JC's, everybody. Southern County Daily News. I know all the local news agencies have been putting it out there. So, hey, it should be a big day, big event. Come on out.
Go camping. Take your campers down.
Yeah. Have a
There's
good
still
time.
spots.
That's
Get
true.
outside, Soda. Get outside.
This is the first year they've really got some warm weather and sunshine.
Usually it rains and it's cold. Am I wrong? I mean, it's always rainy, cold. I've had sleet out there before. Yeah, so let's enjoy this 80-degree day, folks.
Now, again, looking around, I'm the oldest person here. I hate saying that, but it's true. And we had been going to a trout derby since my grown daughter was little. And this is a little tidbit of information that I can't believe they did it, but they did. Years and years ago, we were camping, and there's a dam of the creek from the what we call the new lake and the old lake. And they didn't put the fish, the trout, directly into the lake. I think they did, but they had so many. They went up to that dam in between and let them out in the creek. And we just happened to be camping there on that creek. And all of our kids just went out there and was just scooping out trout with their hands. And they were prizes because they were, they were just
You
there.
just lay out the family secret.
Well,
I feel like
Yeah, someone eats some trout. But
I've never seen it since, them doing that, and they've always just deposited right into the water of the lakes, but this was, I don't know, I think it might have been a mistake that was fixed.
Well, I know that there are trout, they are releasing trout in Roosevelt as well for this event, and they have a way of making sure that if a child wants to catch fish, they are going to catch fish. Okay, so they make sure that happens. I don't know if they have scuba divers under the water. I don't know what they're doing. No, they've got a way, and it's really neat what they do, and they just want everyone to come out and have a good time.
Just never forget that moment, going out there. And I wasn't much of a fisher woman, but I went out and tried to grab one, but I couldn't. Slippery. Interesting piece of information there.
And this year's event is named after Harley Ellis,
Yes.
and a local veteran, disabled veteran, and I know that they're very excited. So it's going to be really neat.
Any additional comments?
Christmas cake.
Or Easter.
Oh, Easter.
Easter cake. This will be the
Easter
last
cake.
weekend for the Easter.
Oh, okay, still
Okay,
going on.
yes,
If
one,
you
the
haven't made
weekend
it,
after
it is,
Easter.
it's
And
phenomenal.
yes, and if you haven't, yeah, it's free, of course. Get out there, and it will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. So it's 3 to 9 on Monday and Tuesday. I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. So if you can, come on out, free of charge, and crowds. You're not crowded. Lots of space, and everything will be great. So come on out, see what it's all about.
Any comments, Mr. Coleman?
I don't.
None at this time?
None at this time.
I think we've said it all. Everything has been said that needs to be said. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming in, and have a great weekend, and get out and enjoy our county. Thank you. Oh, with that, can I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
I will second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi. Thank you so much.